Jim, fantastic win, 5 out of 5. How are you feeling tonight?
I think most of the lads and the crowd are probably a bit flat because of the way that the game went at the end. But my pre-match talk was all about us maintaining standards but raising them. We talked about things that we needed to improve during the week because we felt that we'd given the likes of Gainsborough and last week's opponents, Bradford, just too much foothold in the game, and we need to be better in certain situations to hold up play, not giving away fouls, and so I asked the lads to raise the bar. So I think they're a bit disappointed, despite the win. They're a little bit disappointed in the fact that the nature of the performance, and rather than anything. But that's them feeling like me that we're to win, but we need to be better to stay in the playoffs when we play the better sides, and we need to be better than that to win the playoffs. So that's the bar that we're raising all the time. But credit to the lads. First team really picks itself, and they're doing the business and scoring goals and winning matches, and that's all we can ask for. And
Jason Oswald, banging form again, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we know what Jason's about in terms of service, and as I said to him, he'll score the goals that he'll get a move, but his all-round game needs bits tidying up. But credit to him. We talked about I don't know what we were doing on corners. It's infuriating for me at times. I mean, people probably wondering why I get upset on the sideline, but we do stuff in training and then I see lads doing something different. And what I said to them in the second half is, look, why are you on there already? Why are you standing under the crossbar? Come out and attack the ball. And every time we did that, we looked like scoring, because I think with Stotty, Jason and Clark, you got 3 lads who are very hard to handle when they're attacking the ball, and we should have scored before Jason's. But, it's nice to score and win the game with a set play, and credit to Jason. He looked really tired at the end. He was feeling his hamstring, so hopefully, he'd be fine for next week. But we took him off as precaution. But that's where we need better from the players on the bench and around the club. They need to be keeping fit and strong to make sure that any injuries or any little bit of issues we have don't cost us. But I'm pleased for the lads because they've worked really, really hard over the last couple of weeks, and to pick up 15 points in the manner they have is a great credit to them.
You mentioned injuries there. There were some fierce tackles late in the game as well today. Yeah,
well, you expect better from the referee. I mean, we've had him here before, and I said to him, shook his hand at the end, and I said, well done, same standard, and he took it as a compliment. But I think if he got sent off for that, I think people would understand why. Yeah. Because it's a tackle where you're taking the man, not the ball, and the nature of the tackle from the side could have left a serious injury. We had Sam Minahan out at the moment because of a puncture wound in his leg from such a similar tackle, and and then Bradford jump up and down when they get 2 players sent off at FC United for similar tackles like that. If you play the man in such a reckless and dangerous way that looks like you're hitting him rather than the ball, then I think the more you send people off, the more you'll stop that kind of tackle. But fortunately, Dan got up and we got on with it. So the lads had to keep the discipline, because we're going to be facing a lot of that kind of scenarios when teams have, we're at that emotional stage of the season when people start getting desperate, start getting heated up and lose mental control, and I hope that the principles that we've laid into our team all season come to the fore when the games get hot and they get a little bit like that. I thought our composure, our mental control and discipline was excellent tonight.
Speaking of that, a real captain's performance today from Harry Winter, and I know he's not even been that well this week, has he?
Yeah, no, perhaps the extra day was to his benefit. But when I signed Harry, he got, when we played away, then FC United beat us 2-0, he was in the way of anything to come up the pitch. He just got in the way, and he pushed himself around the pitch and made himself a real presence in midfield, and he's done that again today. And that's why I've stuck with him. And it's more noticeable when teams coming down the centre, perhaps have like a Parkin or the lad at Maidenhead. It's more noticeable, his physical presence. It allows the back four to stay intact and just sweep up behind him. Other clubs prefer to let the centre-halves challenge, which is fine, but if they break that back four, you're in danger, especially with the people like Asante and the other centre-forward they got from Port Vale. We didn't want to get them in behind us because they were a real threat against North Ferriby. But no, he did great. Paul's obviously coming back to fitness. Jimmy Ball had another really good game. I just thought that there's a couple of players up front that just need to find the full fitness and the full dynamic ability, and if they did, then we could have scored more goals tonight.
You've got real momentum now, 5 wins out of 5 obviously speaks for itself, but tough games to come, aren't there? There's still 4 away fixtures to come as well, but have you got a target in mind, a points target of where you'd like to be?
We set a points target last year of 72 and it wasn't enough, no, I think the mentality's been purely one game at a time. What we need to do is, and we can't take anything for granted, that they've beaten North Ferriby 4-1 on a difficult night for North Ferriby. But North Ferriby will be smarting from that. So we've got to go there and make sure that we're very professional, that we that we keep our game tidy, keep doing the right things, and impose ourselves on them. And then obviously we'll be in Monday morning looking at the Kidderminster game, but the most important thing is that we take, if you call it momentum, or if you just call it the standard of professionalism, the standard of work, making sure we do as many things as right as possible. If we take that standard into the next game, then we know we've got a good chance of picking up another 3 points. And then what we need to do is just make sure we go unbeaten to the end of the season. But what we also have to be mindful of is preparing ourselves for the playoffs and preparing our game plans and our way of playing and our options and keeping players fit and fresh for the players, because there's no point getting in there unless you got a chance of winning them. And in that sense, there's a lot of work to be done between now and the end of the season. But credit to players, they've been very professional, they've worked really hard. They're in there, they're tired, and they're not over emotional. They know that that they made hard work of it tonight, but they did work hard and they deserve every credit. So fair play to them. I'm really delighted with their application, and credit to them all for the shift they put in again. And if you don't put that shift in, you don't get 5 wins in a row. It's
great as well to get the 3 points tonight, especially it's been a difficult week for Stockport County in terms of obviously the tribute to the 4 people who passed away before the game. It's been an awful time for the club, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, look, I didn't know the Stuart very well, but obviously I know Ollie well and Mike Hopper and the great people, and I think it can't be underestimated. Like Sue Corden was like the photographer here for almost volunteer, and Mike Hopper, all the work they've done, and it's great credit to these people, because they are doing what volunteers do and playing their part in the club, and they should be respected as much as any ex-manager or ex-player. So I'm delighted the club's done that, but it has been a difficult week, and when you realise people are being lost like that, you just want to make sure you show good respect to them, and I'm sure Mike will be looking down at us now and thinking what a great 3 points that was.
It was. Well done tonight.
Thanks so much.